The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Houston. Push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
To throw on 2nd down. Wolf. They find some open field here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Red zone opportunity. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. They go play action here on first down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a 2nd and long. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wolf is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Here's the Jets punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Off play action. Wolf. And he's got room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in a running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
It's 3rd down, 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back to throw. Wolf. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game. 4 catches, 70 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy that defenses have better focus on.
Looking to throw. Wolf. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack. I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wolf. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket, that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
First down. Wolf. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wolf, and unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw. Wolf. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He only has a single solo carry, one. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. And Walker has it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 3rd down, Turner, no gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A gain of 32 that time. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
And now here's a carry heading left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either call pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been in constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard at the 23. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Arnold. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. In just 2 minutes' time, don't forget we'll get you to Orlando for our halftime report. To bring it to you, who else but Larry Ridley?
Now that man knows his football. Go get him, Larry.
On 1st and 10, Wolf got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Looking to throw. Wolf. And he slings one that's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Throwing on first down. Wolf. On the right side, this is Miller. And he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. First down, Wolf. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Nifty move. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it. But he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The Jets on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And that is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. On 1st and 10, Wolf, and an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the gun, Wolf. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to loft one into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Jets have an edge in time of possession right now. The Texans look like they'll be in this game for 4 quarters. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Midway through the first quarter, defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Third down from the 13. Dawson's got to get to the quarterback here. This will go as a loss of 10. Take it at the 16. Wolf's got the completion here. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Texans on top by 6.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume playing in this second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on first down. Wolf looking for his running back, and he's got it. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Wolf over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it in every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. To throw now on first down. And that's incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. throw. And he comes back with one complete. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back, right on the 30-yard line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And Walker with it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the play. They'll run on first down. Turner is shoving his way inside the 35. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll look to throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Jets on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go! Green 39! Green!
Looking to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this one is right through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Out in is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because
blitz coming and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd down, Wolf. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Second down following the run.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up fourth.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
To throw on 2nd down. Wolf bringing it in. Jackson left side. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans will add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Uses the stiff arm. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Jets on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Fresh set of downs here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So it'll be 1st down here after the run. Off the play fake. Wolf. And he whips that one incomplete there.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands. Receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Going to give this time to the tailback. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go!
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And here comes the Texans now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. The Texans on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Wolf. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And New York set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Throw here's incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Side complete. That's Arnold. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Arnold. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone, and hope for the best.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And he locates Walker, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take this one down to the 20-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
The previous play is under review.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 22 on that one. And it'll be a New York first. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Complete with 11 seconds remaining now.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air boot, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Houston, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.